All right.
Where did he go? We're good.
All right, good people. All right. So it's time to get this thing started. So as you all enjoy eating your dinner, we want to use this time to present some keys to Franklin County. It is very important for us that we acknowledge all the key players that made this event a success. From the staff that worked on this event and the vendors, we can't thank you enough for bringing the first Soul Talks Empowerment Summit to the people of Franklin County. Can you give it up for the people? All right, to present these keys, I would like to invite up our Franklin County Board of Commissioners. President Commissioner Erica Crawley. Woo! Commissioner Kevin Boyce. And John O'Grady, our county commissioner, our county administrator, will be here on behalf of Commissioner John O'Grady. Put your hands together.
Thank you, David. I'll wait for Administrator Wilson to get up here. Thank you, David. This is our first presentation of Franklin County Keys. As I call your name, please come to the stage for your Franklin County key and stay for a group photo. First, we have Adam H. CEO Erica Clark Jones. Next, we have Executive Director of the Veterans Service Commission, Buck Bramlish. Executive Director of Franklin County Children's Services, Chip Spinning. Maurice Clarett. Dr. Ledet. Wallo and Gillie.
Wallo. I'm talking about, baby. This little baby key to the county. That's for you. Oh, that's my man. That's my man.
It really is.
So you're gonna take your keys to the county. And then where's Buck Bramlett? She's not up here. Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay.
It's with deep gratitude the Franklin County Board of Commissioners presents the key to the county. Yes, let's give it up for them. Yeah. Your service and commitment embody the values of service, progress, and excellence, and community. As you move forward, know that Franklin County is forever grateful, and you will always belong right here in Franklin County. Thank you for all that you do.
Oh, did we take a photo?
I knocked something over.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. You don't want those.
Yeah.
Whoever said that, give me that key back.
Okay. Thank you.
Look, give me that goddamn key back. Who said that?
You know what he said, huh? They're going to do better than this.
This is great.
Commissioner Crawley, can you stick around for one quick second? And Administrator Wilson. So thanks so much again, everyone, for coming out. I'm going to try to be quick because I really want to get to the main program, the main part of the program. So forgive me for talking a little bit fast. But the keys to the county represent the ability to unlock the doors to possibilities. And while I think it was Wallo or Gillie said, I'm going to use this key to unlock the jail and let everybody out. That's not what it's for. It is a key to possibility. But I wanted to share with you how I was inspired to create the keys to possibilities, the keys to Franklin County. First, when Commissioner Crawley became a county commissioner, she talked very openly about her own journey. She talked very openly about her own experience, her own vulnerabilities, and more importantly, the need for Franklin County to invest in people, every resident, every day. And for me, it said, she illustrated the courage. And I was so grateful because it inspired the conversation that we're here today. So, Commissioner Crawley, I'd like to announce officially that we have named an award in your honor called the Commissioner Erica C. Crawley Courage Award in Mental Health. That will be given annually at our State of the County to those who demonstrate courage in mental health. And so we are naming the award after you. And stick around for a second, because those people are getting awards tonight. The first awardees will be here tonight. And then secondly, the second award is the John O'Grady Resilience Award. John O'Grady and I were talking, and Commissioner Crawley one day before session, and I was telling him about my own health issues where I was beginning to take blood pressure medication. I didn't want to take it. And John, who had, a few years ago, John actually had some very serious health issues, and he's talked publicly about them, so I'm not breaking HIPAA laws. But he essentially died and was in a coma for quite some time. And so I was telling him, complain about it and want to take the blood pressure medicine. And he said, Kevin, take the fucking medicine. And quite frankly, I heard what he said, and I started taking that blood pressure medication. And what we know for sure is that physical health is connected to mental health. And that's right. And for John to me has demonstrated resiliency to come back from near death and to really be an advocate for mental health and for physical health. So we're naming this award the John O'Grady Resiliency Award, which Administrator Ken Wilson is accepting on his behalf. So let's give John O'Grady a round of applause. And so now, I'd like to recognize our first awardees in these two categories. And again, I want to start with the Erica C. Crawley Courage Award. And who is our first? It's Is he Courage? Okay, give me that. All right, the first award goes to Pastor Michael Young. Where's Pastor Young at? Yeah. When I tell you how he opened up the doors of his church, but more importantly, showed a level of commitment that I've just never seen before to give people a pathway to have courage to talk about mental health, there's nobody that I could think of more that was deserving of the Erica C. Crawley Courage Award.
Thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate you, man.
Love you, bro.
Love to support you, man.
What's this one? And then the next Courage Award is a good friend of mine in the violence, has been in the trenches, working with folks who are facing incarceration, working with folks who are in the community, dealing with very complex and difficult issues. And this next guy, this is a guy who spent quite a time incarcerated himself. And I've never seen somebody, and I know many people who've been incarcerated throughout their life, I've never seen anybody be more committed, more dedicated, and work harder than Sean Stevenson with End the Violence. He didn't know anything about this. None of them did. So there you go, bro.
What's up, bro?
Stand up here. And then finally, this guy is one of Franklin County's own. And it's hard to talk about this. This is the John O'Grady Resiliency Award. This guy lost his son a year ago. And to see how hard and dedicated he works on behalf of the residents of Franklin County, is something that really there are no words to describe. He has showed up every day. He has been very much committed for you. He is dedicated to this conversation around providing a pathway to a better mental health, and that's David Kimbrough. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Give it up one more time for our awardees. Thank you very much. Get a quick photo. Great. Thank you. Thanks, guys. No, man, I love you, bro. Yeah, appreciate everything. Appreciate that. Well, we're about to get to it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, good people. Oh. All right, good people. I didn't know that was going to happen, so forgive me if my voice is a little wavery, but we're going to get right to it. So thank you, Franklin County Commissioners, for always supporting our residents and making it possible for us to do the great work that we do. Without any further delay, I would like to introduce and bring back to the stage our keynote panelists and speakers. Commissioner Kevin L. Boyce, triple board certified doctor, Dr. Russell Ledet, and all the way from Philly, the host of $1 Million Worth of Game, Wallo and Gillie.
Yeah. Is
The mic's on. Mic check.
Yeah. Franklin County, stand up real quick. I need everybody here to stand up and make some noise for yourself for being here and being part of this great day. Stand up. Woo! Yeah. Beautiful day. Today we're here to talk about something serious, right? Something that's not talked about on social media enough. Every day we waste a lot of our time to get on social media to escape the reality of life, and we try to escape the struggles of our upbringings, the trauma, and we do everything possible to not deal with it, to try to hide it. We try to pack it away, and we don't want to deal with it. Today is about mental health, and it's about knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you need to find somebody to talk to, knowing that it's okay to talk to somebody. I want to start off with the commissioner. You got a mic down there?
Yes, sir.
When you hear mental health, what do you hear?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm just becoming familiar with the conversation around mental health. You know, I went through some things a few years ago, and I knew that I was crashing in many ways. You couldn't tell from the outside, but I know what's happening on the inside. And then when I would sit and talk to my brothers, you know, I learned that, you know, there was some serious things going on, not just for me, but for everybody, you know. And so when I think of mental health right now, I think of just a journey. And along the journey is a step. Every day is a step. Hopefully it's toward a better me. When I was talking to Maurice in the back, you know, I think he's the example, the textbook example of being on a journey, but then finding out where you are. And I think for all of us, hopefully, this conversation around mental health will lead everybody with the chance to find some direction.
I need you to raise your hand, and if I need you to raise your hand in this building, if you went through something during your upbringing, your childhood, and you ain't deal with it yet. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Everybody raise their hand. Now, you can put your hand down. Doc, I need you to speak to them. Tell them who you is.
Yeah.
I need you to speak to them.
My name is Dr. Russell Ledet. Well, I'm affectionately known as RJ. I'm a training pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, and child and adolescent psychiatrist, which basically means I'm a doctor who got a lot to do. And that's cool and all. That's not the most important thing. I think the most important thing to this, especially to this question that you just brought up about childhood, is that I'm accessible. Accessibility is more important than anything. If you get all these accolades behind your name, but nobody can get in touch with you, it's probably not that useful. Not to mention, I understand the culture that we come from, which is rare, because most doctors don't understand that, because most doctors don't come from where we come from. So it's hard for them to take that in. And so to his point, these childhood traumas that you all are talking about, the reason why you haven't disclosed them is because you haven't felt safe enough to do so. Safety breeds access. If you want somebody to tell you about what they're going through, create a safe environment for them. Safety is not yelling at them. Safety is not cussing at them. Safety is not cutting them off while they're talking. And safety is not rushing. Sometimes we're too impatient. We don't have enough time to listen to the long story. What do we want? We want the short version. The issue is that there is no short version to childhood trauma, because you've been carrying it since you were 7 years old, and now you're 40. There's no such thing as a short 33 years. And so to that point, obviously, I see a lot of kids and adults in clinics every day or in the hospital every day who are dealing with childhood trauma that they never unpacked. And the piece of advice that I have for you all, if I don't give you anything else, is find someone you feel emotionally safe with. Tell them, I feel emotionally safe with you. And then proceed to slowly unpack these things that you wanted to talk about for forever. And let them know, I'm counting on you to help me get through this.
A few years back, my little cousin got killed, Gil's son. And I had to be the one to tell him that. Now, it took so much. I was trying to walk away from him when I got the call and I realized what was going on, but he wouldn't let me. What was crazy about that, after we went through the whole process and seeing him go through the different changes, at a moment I had to ignore my pain and put it to the side because I had to cater to him and I wanted to be there for him. So I couldn't even be emotional. And after it was all over, I sat back and thought of two things. I thought about the dehumanization of black people by black people, right? The dehumanization of black people by black people. When you're a little kid, you're a little boy, you on the swing, you fall, you start crying, the first thing they say, stop, be tough, stop that, don't cry. We're taught at a very young age not to be humans. We teach the kids not to be humans. I never really saw my cousin cry until that happened. But I also understood another thing, that we go to funerals like their birthday parties, and it's just regular to us. It's like we know we're going to somebody's funeral every month because somebody's going to get killed. Whereas though you don't even see people crying that much at funerals. We just go through there, look at the body, put our nice clothes on, eat some food after it, and we go about our life. We don't even mourn. We don't get sad. So we didn't put all this stuff away. And you talking to somebody right here that I spent most of my life incarcerated. I spent 5 years in the juvenile system. First got locked up June 30th, 1990. I was 11 years old for a couple days. Wound up going to spend 5 years in and out the juvenile system. When I was 17, I got arrested for 2 armed robberies, 2 firearm violations. They gave me 19 and a half to 52 years, certified me as an adult. I was only 17. I went to jail. 17 came on 37. I was probably about 27 when I learned how to cry in jail. That was the first time I really thought I was crying because I was in so much pain from my upbringing, and I didn't even know that I could cry. So think about the people that's in your life and in your family, and think about what they're going through. You know how we got the family member that just don't care, they push everything off? We gotta start getting back to just being a human being, not worrying about what they're gonna say about us, who's gonna laugh, who's gonna talk about us. We gotta get back to being human beings. Because in the grand scheme of this thing, we're losing. We behind the 8 ball. Because first of all, Everybody got a shield up. All of us walking around paranoid because we come from the ghetto and we think everybody trying to play us to get over on us and manipulate us. We don't even believe it's good humans out there no more. Yeah. Because a lot of us first got victimized in the home by people that said they love us. So you carrying that for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. So now we got to find people that we could talk to because we've been carrying all this stuff for so many years and thinking somebody going to talk about us. Because in the black community, we always talking about somebody's business. We always gossiping. So it's hard. I heard a person tell me, I ain't going to no black therapist. They talk too much. So you going to go to somebody that don't even know your upbringing.
They don't know nothing about you.
So today is about connecting with the true you. And you gotta be authentic. And you gotta be able to look in that mirror, take everything off. Take the makeup off. The fellas take the Beijing out the beards and the hairlines and stuff. I told the one brother back when was it Rick and Reese? I told Rick and Reese that Trump ready to ban Beijing. They said, what? What? They almost panicked. Rick and Reese almost, where y'all at, man? They somewhere. They almost panicked. They was like, Trump gonna do what? I'm talking about, he almost had a heart attack. I had to catch him.
That's crazy. That's wild.
You dig what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
That's wild.
they gonna kill me about that. But no, I'm just saying, like, think about this. We quick to prioritize. Think about our black community. We so quick to prioritize what Keisha and Bobby and Boo Boo and this person and that celebrity and that person is doing, but we forgot about ourselves. We worry more about what people gonna think about us. The perception, like we pimp our people future perceptions of us. When you get up in the morning to put your clothes on and you getting dressed and you say, oh no, this don't look right. Do it don't look right for you or it don't look right for your co-workers. It might say something about what you got on. We really gotta start connecting. But in order to connect, we gotta go to the mirror, strip down and be real with ourselves. And tell yourself, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater. I've been bullshitting. You gotta be straight up. You gotta be straight up. And until you hit that, you're not even gonna be able to go back to yesterday. You ain't gonna be able to connect because you're not accountable. None of us wanna be accountable. Everybody perfect. Everybody better than somebody. Everybody got something to say about somebody when we ain't got our stuff together. Nobody got their stuff together. We all figured it out. I don't care if you're in a one-bedroom apartment or if you got a mansion, if you're driving a Honda or you're driving a Porsche lamp. Everybody is jacked up, and we all hiding behind these things. The brothers is hiding behind the Beijing, the sisters hiding behind the lace fronts. You dig what I'm saying? It's cool, though. Ain't nothing wrong with the lace front, especially...
You know you're right.
Come on, man.
Do say hi by lace front.
Hold up, shout out to the shout out to, listen. Do you know, no BS. I ain't playing, listen. I get out of jail, right? Me and him driving, right? We driving down the street. I said, damn. I said, all these chicks got Indian in their family now. They hear all. I didn't even know about the hookup. You dig what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, she got the baby here? Damn. Everybody, I'm just being real. But.
That's what 20 years in jail do you.
No, I'm just being
Everybody's Indian.
I'm like, damn, it was crazy. You know, back in the day, she got Indian in her family. You know what I'm saying? That's what we thought. But no. Now, let's be real. See, one thing about the black community, Kamish, I'm gonna be real. One thing about the black community, if you can make them laugh, you can make them listen. Y'all ready now? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand if you're ready to get deep into yourself. Raise your hand if you're ready to give up and stop fighting the illusion. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the mask off. Raise your hand. Hey, I don't see enough hands raised. Today is about really connecting. Franklin County said we're gonna come together and we're gonna humanize some people that have been through some stuff. It's okay, because ain't nobody in this room perfect.
Nobody.
We all messed up in some type of way. And we all running from the traumas and the vacancies of our upbringing.
Facts.
All of us. Now, what we're gonna talk about today, Doc, what is the ways to start opening up and getting to what's really going on with us?
Yeah, I think you bring up some amazing points. One is that you can't pour from an empty cup. I want y'all to hear that one more time.
Say that again, Doc.
You can't pour from an empty cup. Here's why I say that. I was just in the back with Maurice and them, and Miss Joy Bivens asked me a question that I'll never forget. She said, well, like, why do you think like the moms who are raising boys that are, and they single, and then they talking bad about the dads? And I said, nah, that's not what this is. It wasn't that long ago that black women had babies coming from them without anesthesia. You know how painful that is? And then on top of that, it wasn't that long ago that black men were hanging from trees and they were having parties under them. So what that means is you have two individuals who have deep-seated, unconscious pain. Hurt people. And they were never given an environment where they could be safe enough to talk about the hurt and the pain. Not to mention they have a society that tells them, let me do an experiment real quick. If everyone in here closed their eyes and I said an orange jumpsuit, you could picture a black man in it. You know what that tells me? Unconsciously, you can devalue a black man and not even know it. So all of these unconscious things are happening in our society. It's situations like this that give us a very small window to do something drastically different, to open up and have honest dialogue. Not the dialogue where you're trying to justify how you see how someone sees their mental health, but the dialogue where you just listen to someone. You listen to someone share their point of view and realize that maybe they've never been given an opportunity to share their point of view. Every black woman in here wants to talk about the person at their job who's talking to them crazy. Black women have been devalued for forever. For forever. As long as we could possibly imagine. Black men, come on, man. There was a time in our country when black men would be put on posts and they would dehumanize them by cutting off their genitals in front of everyone. Now we just do it through incarceration. People are in major pain, ridiculous pain. In the hospital, if we want to stabilize a patient, we address their pain first. It's hard for us to address anything else if we don't address their pain first. There are people who put these masks on, like Wallo talking about, and they go to work, and they come home, and you ask them, how was your day? And they say, fine. Exactly. But is that true? Hell no, it's not true. Of course it's not true. To be black and American conscious is insanity. James Baldwin talked about this. But we have to create a community of healing. Not a community where Maurice I gotta be better than him. You're running your own race. If you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you are comparing apples to oranges. Y'all ain't start at the same place. Y'all not gonna finish at the same place. God ain't create y'all the same. There's no part of you that's the same as anyone else. Even twins have differences. The only thing we all have in common is humanity. There's this book called The Same Kind of Different as Me. If you ever get an opportunity to read the book, you'll realize black, white, tall, short, gay, straight, people not that different. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's in pain. And everybody's looking for safety. Behavior is a form of communication. Kids who are erratic are trying to tell you that they don't feel safe. Adults who scream feel like they're not being heard. Just think a little bit deeper than what you see on the surface, because there's always more to the story than what you see on the surface.
I think that's why there's an unbelievable battle going on amongst us. Raise your hand if you ever got arrested before. God damn. All right. Hold up. All right, put that down. Put your hand down. Make sure the parole man in here nowhere. Now we're gonna get deeper, right? Raise your hand if you ever was molested. Raise your hand if you ever was physically abused in a domestic relationship. All right. Raise your hand if you're a liar. Everybody in the room, see y'all all lying. Why y'all ain't all raise your hand?
I'm not about to lie. I'm not about to lie.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Y'all in here lying like a living room rug.
Ain't
Now-
nobody get me on camera.
One thing I don't do, I don't lie.
Now, so now you gotta think about this. Think about, bring it down, y'all. Think about everything that everybody went through, right? And then now we see why the battle was going on social media, why everybody hate each other. Nobody, how many people grew up and wasn't told they was loved every day? Raise your hand. Think about that. So everybody is fortifying themselves and trying to protect themselves because what happened is, if I'm dealing with this sister right here and I hurt her, she might be paralyzed for the next 15 years. All of us is walking around paralyzed and mad. That's why when you see people on Instagram, men ain't this, and then you see the dudes, like I ain't gonna front, man. A lot of these dudes, I don't know what's be going on. They be crying too much. I come from a different time. Straight up. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people you can just see, they just be wanting a hug and a kiss and say, I love you, hold their hand. You safe, come on, let's go. Yep. That's all it really be about. All that. Keisha, stop playing with me, get up, come on, we out, we're going to movies, baby, come here. Come here, stop playing. Don't let that happen again. All right, baby, come on. When men gonna start menning out here? Stop, we not doing no art. When all this arguing jump off? Every time you see a dude on Instagram, he arguing with a woman. Stand down, man. What type of goofy shit you on? I'm just being realistic. See, I'm throwback. My uncle, you know Uncle Mike and them, they ain't play that. I'm telling you, sissy, go get my plate, stop playing, girl. You know how Uncle Mike used to be? Uncle Mike didn't play it, but it was with respect. He go over there, kiss her, the bills was paid. He played his part. Now everybody tripping. We all mad about nothing. When all of us just need a hug and to be told, I love you. Look at them sisters, beautiful queens right there, man. Oh, the sisters right. Mr. Mike ain't playing, Grandpa ain't played with them, he handled his business. Grandpa took his responsibility, he handled his business. But now we don't see, you ate at the table, we don't even eat at the table. The kid in the back room on the iPad, he ordering off a DoorDash at one of them joints. You in your room eating, y'all, we don't even talk to each other no more, man. In the house. But soon as little boo-boo get locked up for shooting up the block, my baby ain't never, shut up, Keisha. Boo-boo's a serial murderer, you don't even know him. Shut your ass up. Like, let's be real. We can't get nowhere until we real with each other. Do you know how many funerals me and Gil go to? When we go to the funeral, we sitting there, Keisha in there, I can't believe it. And I'm like, you want me to tell? I'm like, chill, because he crazy. Don't tell her right now that her son is crazy. Not today. Tell her 2 days later, your son was a serial murderer. I'm just being real though. We don't even know our kids because we too consumed in trying to live. Listen, we trying to live our second childhood. And now with this technology, you got dads that want to be young boys. You got moms that want to be bad. Like everybody is trying to escape being a parent because we didn't have parents. I'm just being real. And it wasn't that people ain't want to be parents. The structural system ain't allow them to be. It was a struggle. She trying to pay rent. Dad might be in the penitentiary. Mom trying her best. So she's dealing with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Because all of us had like
New Edition.
No, not them. But all of us had like 4 or 5 step-pops. I'm just being real though. Yeah. See, this is a family meeting. We got to talk. Yeah. This is my family. All of us had 3, 4 step-pops. Not because our mom was Mom was trying to figure it out, man. She was trying to figure it out. And you know what's crazy? We always like the step-pop that bought us the most shit. You ever notice that? We always like him the most. Where Mr. Mike at, Mom? You know what I mean? That's how I don't like Mr. Kev. Mr. Kev told you got to do your homework, now you don't like it. I mean, but what I'm saying is, we got to think about all the stuff we went through. When we leave here today, if everybody take a piece of paper and write down everything that affected them in their life, write down I'm talking about every prison bar that you create, because a lot of y'all is in prison. There's more people in prison in the free world than prison. Because you created this prison around you of all this, I ain't gonna let this happen, so you be nice to somebody, they don't even want you to be nice, they think you're trying to con them. You ain't got nothing to kind. You living like I'm living. We struggling. What I'm gonna kind you for? You think you slick. Slick for what? We both struggling. We trying to figure it out. We both on Section 8. Some of us is on Section 16 because we've been on the 8 so long. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I ain't lying. Because we trying, no, straight, some of us is trying to get over.
Yeah, you're right.
We got to commit. We got to be real with each other. If you ain't real, you ain't going to heal. Because you will keep lying and saying, I'm okay when I'm not.
Hey, Wallo.
He's crazy.
To that point, can I just do an experiment real quick? Everybody raise your hand if this is you. You're regularly irritable. The simplest thing will make you snap, okay? You get bad rest pretty often. You can't go to sleep and you can't wake up. Cool. You have low energy or too much energy. Okay, that's a lot of people. Okay, you worry about the worst thing in the world happening all the time. Can I tell y'all something? That's like 5 things from a screener that we use to figure out who is depressed and who has anxiety. Now, here's why I bring that up. Many black folks don't believe in depression or anxiety. You get nervous. I don't know why you nervous. I don't know why you nervous. I'm nervous because my brain is imbalanced. Here's why that's interesting. When people say they have chest pain, we never say, oh, it's just going to get better. We want to figure out if they're having a heart attack, maybe there's a stroke, maybe there's a pneumothorax, maybe there's some cardiac effusion. There's something going on in your chest. And we need to figure it out immediately. So let's go to an EKG, let's go get a CMP, let's go get a CBC, let's figure out what's going on, right? When people say, I'm sad, we'd be like, man, just go pray about it. Isn't your brain a really important organ, just like your heart? Yeah, we probably shouldn't be saying things like, the only thing you need to do when you get sad is pray about it. God created psychiatrists and therapists for a reason. And I know it's a few people in the clergy who are gonna get upset at me for saying this out loud. But stop telling your congregation that their depression and their anxiety is gonna go away if they just pray a little bit longer. You need God plus Prozac. You need God plus therapy. You need God plus less alcohol consumption. You need God plus less cigarettes. I'm just being honest. Because specifically for black men and black boys, some of us want to cry. Some of us want to cry bad. We want to cry to the point where we can scream and the whole world can hear it. It's like putting a Mentos in a Coke bottle and putting a top on it. That's how a lot of black men feel. That was our next question. Why do you believe black men are often discouraged from getting into mental health? What did Wallo say? Since you was a kid, you need to shut the hell up when you cry. Yep. Shut the hell up. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Man, my knee hurts. So? And toughen it up. And then you become an adult, and you wonder why they scream at everybody they talk to. They don't believe anyone can hear them.
Damn, deep.
You can't hear them. Black men rarely say things like, I'm tired. And people hear it and say, I need to give you rest. What you gotta do? You gotta work.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Let let me say something. Listen, the buck has always been known as the buck. You go get the biggest, blackest, meanest man, and you make them work till they die at 50, 55, 57, 60, from high cortisol levels and hypertension and stroke and heart attack and diabetes and suicide. Shout out to Twitch. May he rest in peace.
Hey, Doc, to Wallo too, Gillie too, I guess my question is, sometimes it's not the actual act of crying that's the crying. You know, I feel like sometimes what I see is men, they act out what we term as crying, but it's not crying. There's not tears coming from the eyes. It's happening in different forms. I was listening to Gillie one day on a podcast, and somebody asked, the moderator asked you, Gillie, she said, if all the success y'all have right now, millions of followers, everybody's, pulling on your coattails and you're pulling in 90 different directions, you gotta be happy. And you looked at her with the straightest of face. And she said, and she asked you, she said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank your happiness? And you looked at her with the straightest of face and said, on my best day, of all the success that we've had, it might be an 8. And then Wallo came back and said something like, I'm generally a 6. And when days really go well, I'm an 8. And I feel like that's how I feel. Yeah. I feel like when I listen to dozens and dozens of your podcasts, but when you said that, I really felt like that's a lot of people, a lot of black men, even on your best day. And you're talking about the pinnacle of success. Yeah. And on your best day, you are still in there. You can't even see, you don't even know what a 10 is like, or a 9. You don't even know how that feels. And so I guess what I'm saying is, it's not just the act of crying. It comes out in other ways, because many times I feel like I'm all cried out. I don't have any more tears to shed. And so it might come out in how serious I am. People say all the time, you're so serious. And maybe that's my form of crying, because I got a lot going on in there, And so I feel like it's a lot of men in this room that might not cry, but they're crying in different ways. And crying might be the use of alcohol, might be weed, might be whatever, but you're doing it to get a sensation, to get a feeling, to just be able to just take the edge off for a minute. And that's real. That's real. I stopped drinking alcohol pretty much a couple of years ago, but I ain't gonna lie. Every day I be thinking of what could I do to just take the edge off? What could I do? There's not a day that goes by, in the day thinking, man, I could use a drink.
What type of 40s you used to drink?
What kind of 40s? You getting personal now, though.
No, because I want to know, because a lot of times, like, it's different styles of 40 drinking. Because did you used to drink the ICF? Because ICF mean ice cold 40. Did you have the skirt on there, the bag, till it get wet? Or you just rocking naked?
We ain't even use the bag,
Okay.
And I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay.
I couldn't do the 40. I was a kind of a deuce guy. I was kind of a 22 because, it was just like a 40 was too heavy.
Because he used to drink 211s and Hurricanes. At the same, no, straight up. And I was like, why you drinking a Hurricane in the 211? And next thing you know, he be running down the street. He don't have nothing on. I'm like, yo, cuz, what's going on?
I wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
but
he was crazy.
I wanted to be. But yeah.
He was, see, you wanted to get wild. I knew it. I seen it in you.
Let me say something, man.
It's deep. It's deep.
This guy's crazy, man. Let me say something, man. July 21st, 2023, I lost my son to the streets of Philadelphia. And being a platform where we all about the youth, the owners of tomorrow, and we give out game, that's guidance, attention, motivation, and education. And our whole platform is to keep the youngins out of the graveyard and the youngins out of the prison system, and let them understand that if you put the same energy in that you put into this negative, if you put it into a positive, you'll get a positive result. But that was the hardest day of my life. And if I didn't have my wife for 26 years and I didn't have this knucklehead right here next to me to talk to be vulnerable with, to be able to just have some great energy, I would have never been able to get through it. So first and foremost, I just want to say, I send my condolences to anybody that lost a child, a father, a sister, a aunt, anybody that was close to you and your family. I feel your pain from the bottom of my heart. But you got to talk to people. And it's just a blessing that I had my wife, who I've been with since I've been 21 years old. I'm about to be 49. You feel what I'm saying? It was a blessing that God was able to let this man come home from jail, because he was my rock in those hard times. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell you that it's important that you talk to people, because I probably would have did something that I would have regretted for the rest of my life if I didn't have people to talk to, because it's hard. And even though I'm so far removed from the streets, this is what I grew up in. This is what I come from. So it's easy to be able to turn back to the streets, especially when you got millions of dollars laying around. It's easy to be able to turn back to the streets. But I had people on my side that was in my corner that was letting me know that the purpose was greater, that we was here for a greater purpose, and we can't stop, because now if I stop, everything that I'm telling these kids is a mockery. Every day that I wake up and I tell these kids what I tell them, if I don't keep the journey going, I'm the fool. So I just want to salute everybody, and I send my condolences to anybody that lost somebody. I know what you're going through. It's chin up, chest out every day. I want to salute this guy. This is my younger cousin. I used to wash him up in the tub. He used to shit and piss all the time, but that's something different. He did 20 years in the penitentiary. He came home at 37. He's the cultural advisor at YouTube. Think about that. Everybody that I know that was locked up with him said he used to walk around the jail and tell them what he was going to do when he got home, and everybody thought he was lying. Now you got the biggest podcast. When you look at podcasts in the world, I'm not talking about in those cities, in the world, we the first Negroes on there. So he was in jail. He did 7,300 days in jail. That's a lot of fighting off your ass. You know what I mean? Just want to throw that out there. He was in there. Back up. I'm just putting that out there. So he worked with Reform. He's the culture advisor at YouTube, a New York Times bestseller. He got the fastest growing clothing brand in the world right now. So when somebody tell you you can't do something, man, they full of shit, man. Feel me? You could do anything that you want to do out here. You just got to put that work in. And when he came home from jail, there was a lot of people that thought he was going right back, because that's all he knew was jail. You know how many cookouts he missed? Since he was a kid, he did 5 years in the juvenile system, 20 years. He never was at no family cookouts. He would call, can y'all send me something? No, nigga, you cool. So you got to understand, I knew he wasn't going back when he came home and said, cuz, I just did an asshole full of time for not knowing who I was. Now, granted, I found out who I was when I was 8 years in. God didn't have to make me do that whole 20, but he had to look in that mirror and find out who he was in that penitentiary. And then he said, when I found out who I was, cuz, I no longer hung with the street cats. I was hanging with lawyers. I was hanging with people in there that was doing real things that could give me knowledge other than who the best basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Who the best rapper, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? Who? He said, that's what everybody else was talking about. I was in there trying to educate myself. So when they was out there and they in the yard and they talking like we on the corner down North Philly, I'm walking around with this intellectual property attorney trying to learn other things. So when I came home and I hit the ground, I was ready to run, baby. Because I wasn't controlled by the conditions that they was controlled by. I was in there talking to the people that they were saying was weirdos. Oh, he a weirdo. Oh, no. He's a person that's just trying to do his time and get the hell out of here. Y'all in here acting like y'all happy to be in prison. So I just want to salute him for being a great individual and coming home and putting that positivity in the air. And everywhere we go, people run up on him and they just be so thankful to him that he bring that positive energy and that he, you know what I'm saying, he's a great source for people to look at and say, if he did it, I can do it. So I just want to salute my little cousin, man, for being great.
Now where's that, where's the camera to that screen? You got it right there? The camera. Where's it at?
Oh, right there.
It's right down the middle? That's the only one they got? All right, I want to show y'all something. Watch this. We got Maurice, Clarett right here. Stand up. Me and him used to play for Ohio State together. Now watch this. I'm going to show y'all something to show y'all how blessed we are in this room. This room is extremely blessed, and I'm going to show you why. I want to put this in this camera, right? This camera coming to me? Right here. This right here is called world meters. It's real numbers in real times. Do y'all see this? Hold up. Do it good up. What type of camera you got, man? It ain't getting up there? Yeah. No, this ain't no bank account. Let me turn it this way. Hold up. No, hold up. Could you zoom in a little bit more? This right here is the world population, right? In real times. Y'all see that? Hold up. Damn, y'all see that? That's the world population. Y'all ready? That's how many people was born this year. Hold up. I don't know why that's here. Hold up. I'm going to get it. Take a step that way, please. Hold up. You see this? Yeah. Trying to get it for y'all. You see the births? The light is blinding. You see the births today? You see how many people died this year? This how many people died today and you ain't on this list. In the world. In the world. Make some noise for yourself. Right? And I want everybody to go to this website. It's called World Meters, right? And World Meters tell you everything. How many cell phones were sold. How many people lost their life to cancer, HIV. It tell you everything. All this is different stuff. The water, the energy used today. And the reason I look at this every day because we find everything to complain about, but we don't celebrate waking up every day. You see all this? Deaths by mother during birth this year. You see this? Look. Deaths caused by alcohol. Suicide this year. That's how many people gave up on themselves this year. Because they probably didn't have nobody to talk to or felt as though they couldn't talk to nobody. But let's go back to this right here so you can see how blessed you is and we can stop complaining and start being thankful. Make some noise to be living today. Look at this. So when you think about life, right, this is what we got to start doing. We got to start getting some more self-talk. We got all the talk, and we quick to tell each other, and we talk to each other, and we talk to ourselves about why things going wrong. But we never, like, a lot of us be disrespecting God. Everybody say, oh, God, nah, y'all really be disrespecting him because you don't be thankful enough. You know, when you wake up, it's like, damn, I won. You gotta do that every day. When I was in that prison, it was like, man, I'm gonna tell you some real stuff. Therapy, I used to look at that like it was crazy. So I'm chilling on the block one day. We on the cell block talking about a bunch of nothing, right? Me and the homies, posting up near the phone. Everybody clocking the phone because they trying to sweat a girl that's on the streets that are not worrying about them because Fat Mike with the Benz got them now. So I'm sitting, yo, I'm gonna tell you some real stuff. I'm gonna tell you something real, man.
Don't leave nothing out either.
No, listen, ain't no heartbreak. Hold up, cuz. Ain't no heartbreak like when you call home and somebody answer that phone, man. Hello? You like, man, Keisha's voice got deep. Man, listen, man, I was crying, screaming, snot was coming out of my nose. I went back in the cell. Oh, you got my baby. She a good woman. It's crazy, but Pete.
Called me, talking about go through there and see if the car out there. I'm like,
I did tell him that. I was like, yo, drive through the block. Is it a white car out there?
You in jail. I ain't going to go see if no car out.
You know, when you, no, I'm just being straight up. When you in jail, you really think just because she answered the phone at the same time, you got it all together. You don't know that she dipping out in there. You just be thinking, yeah, my girl, she come up with, hey, she don't miss a visit. She write all them letters whole time. Baby leg somewhere out there got your piece. I mean, but that's another story. So this I'm gonna tell y'all my introduction to therapy, right? So we chilling on the block, right? We just kicking it on the cell block, leaning on the phone and all that stuff, talking about a bunch of meaningless stuff. So I just see this lady walk on the block. Oh man, she was, yeah. So I'm like, I'm like, damn, who is that? That's a counselor or something? No, that's a therapist. So I tell them, I ain't let them dudes know who she was. I'm like, yeah. So when the CO finished telling me, I said, I'll be right back. I slid down there. I said, listen, walked up on her. She's like, how you doing? My name is Smith. I said, my name is Wallace Peoples. How you doing? I'm going through some things. I need somebody to talk to. Sure, come in here. Because I'm thinking, I'm liking it because she's beautiful. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm in a joint. I slid in there. I told her everything, man. If this was the police district, I snitched on everybody in the county. I told her everything. I said, man, listen, Boo Boo, you know Boo Boo, right? He in cell, he got a knife, he got a package of weed, and he shot somebody. What else you want to know? Yeah? Oh yeah, my man right there in the cell, he's selling, like, I'm in there telling her all, I told her stuff I forgot about. I didn't even know that happened to me.
It's the Antoine Fisher moment.
So now, I'm like, nobody know who she is because he's just getting into the system. I'm down there every day. I'm talking about, that was the best. After that, I said to myself, and I ain't tell other dudes what was going on. I told her I was spending, no, she just come here to do like a test on people. You know, this ain't for y'all. So I'm talking to her like a month every day, 2 hours for nothing. I told her my whole life, and then she started telling me, I was raw, I was transparent. It was the beauty though. The beauty opened you up in a different way. I advise men to get women therapists. 'Cause I'm just being real.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Listen, it did the job. So I'm in there telling about all type of stuff. We crying together. I can't believe this. Let me hold. All that type of shit, right?
You're trying to get a little hug.
Yeah,
He's trying to come up.
But what I'm saying is, that was the most beautifulest time of my like some of my life because I was able to let go of a lot of things. Yeah. And I never knew that, like, you don't know until you talk about them, and then you get emotional, and the tears come, or you just be like, but when you walk away, it'd be like, you don't even know what you be carrying. That's why some people backs be hurting. You see how you see the old head, his back and his feet be, his feet be tender. He been carrying it around for 60 years.
That's interesting.
He walk like that. He walk like that. Straight up. They be talking about they got gout and all that. That come from carrying all that stress around. He tripping.
That's crazy.
I'm just being real.
That's real. That's real.
Like on everything I love. After talking to her, man, after that month, I was like, man, I believe I could fly like R. Kelly, man. I could have done anything. I ain't mean to use that, you know what I mean, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Nah.
That was a bad reference.
Straight up.
Hey, can I be honest with y'all? I made a post a couple days ago. I ain't expected to go viral, but I was ridiculously honest. I called my best friend. His name is Damian Bowman. And a couple months ago, my wife and I decided we were going to take our kids on a trip. But we were going to go to Florida because that's like a thing that just like people do. We took our kids to Florida last summer. And I called Damien and I was like, hey, bro, can I be honest with you? I was like, man, I want to take my kids across the pond, but I can't give myself permission to do it. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I would feel bad doing it. He walked me through it. We was talking about like, bro, we grew up so poor that like we feel bad doing things that give us rest.
Yes.
We feel bad doing things that give us rest. We feel like rest is a crime. The more we work, the more we feel valued. The less we work, the more lazy we are. So I made this post and I made this quote, and I want you all to think about what I'm saying, because I'm one of the most educated people on the planet. Black, white, indifferent. I'm one of the most educated people on the planet. I wrote, no one told me that getting my white coat would not solve whether or not I felt like I was worth something. Everybody think, oh, you became a doctor. You up, kind of like Wallo and Gillie. You got the #1 podcast in the world. You up. You gotta feel like you worth everything. Commissioner Boyce, one of the most successful people I've ever been able to sit down and talk to. You gotta feel like everything. I wear a white coat with 8 letters on it. Most people only got 2. I gotta feel like I'm on top of the world.
So you got the whole alphabet on your jacket. What type of doctor is you? That's deep. Like he said, the whole like 8 letters. I only knew like PhD, like or the DR, like the doctor. You know, you just had the DR. I didn't know they had all them letters.
Yeah, I got MD, PhD, and MBA.
God damn.
His just said PR for prison.
I don't know nobody that got that. I don't know if anybody got that. So.
But the reason why I say that is because Commissioner Boyce talked about something that we need to say out loud. You had better learn how to give yourself permission to rest. Not rest so that you could go to work, not rest so that you could go do something else. No, rest because even God rested. On the 7th day, the Bible said he rested. And we are supposed to be human beings, not human doings.
Hey Doc, they're giving me the sign, but I got to ask y'all a question because I feel like this is a very successful group of men. Maurice is a very successful businessman today. And talk about his football, he's a successful businessman today. I own a bank, I started a bank. Why is it that with all this success, we never feel like we can celebrate that? We never feel, when I watched you guys talking about it the other day, I felt like, that's me. I feel like most men, even with the success, they never feel like they can celebrate and be in the moment. What is that all about?
Can I be honest? Especially for minoritized people, it's the white gaze. It is the white gaze.
What does that mean?
It means that we want the approval. If you all get a chance, listen to Tyler Perry. He talked about this recently. Somebody was like, oh, you got to figure out whether or not you're approved by Rotten Tomatoes. He was like, Rotten Tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, any tomatoes, I don't care. We are trying to measure how valuable we are by the people who we have been conditioned to say are the evaluators.
Some people is because I don't really care. Because you know why? You know why I don't care? Because this is what I say. I'm going to just be straight up with you. And you got to have so much self-love that can't nobody mess with you. This is what I say. Okay, I say this. This is what I say. And this to each his own. Okay, you got a degree. You went to Yale. You went to prison. Myself, I didn't go to jail. I went to Yale. I didn't go to prison. I didn't go to prison. I went to Princeton. I didn't go to the state pen. I went to Penn State. It's all about this. Because let me tell you something. This is why I pop it. I don't care who you is on the planet. I come from the ghettos of America, and I represent some people that the world forgot about. So I gotta pop it. You know why? I'm not bowing down. Listen, all that white, I don't care who you, I'm not bowing down to nobody. Because you know why? I come from some people that build pyramids with no cranes. I'm extraordinary. You see what I'm saying? Me and my cousin, because guess what? Not no 2-time felon. Not nobody that spent 20 years. We negotiating deals, and when we go in there, it started at 9 figures. And then we be in there popping it. I put my feet on the table when I'm in Amazon. Yeah, no, we need 35 million. Yeah, 3 years. We just licensed it. So I don't care who you is. One thing about me and where I come from and who my people is, I'm not bowing down to nobody. You hear me? We built this shit. We built this. And we got to get that bullshit out of our mind. As long as we keep talking about, no. I'm the master. This is my universe. Ain't nobody calling no shots on me. Because guess what? You mean to tell me I'm supposed to bow down? And it was this small little sister named Harriet that came through and said, I'm going to make this happen. You think I'm bowing down to somebody because of their color? You got me messed up, man. You better miss me with that. So we got to get out of that. Because guess what? Me and him ain't supposed to do it. We ain't supposed to be making these major moves coming from the ghettos of America. AKA they try to say I was a criminal, I was this. Yeah, I used to be a criminal, now I own the keys to the city. I might go there and open the jail up tonight. Keep playing with me. Because they gave me the key. I can do what I want. They gave me the key.
You got the key.
Look at me.
You got the key.
Don't do that.
No, you got the key.
I'm just being straight up. But we got to start popping it. And one thing about it, we got to stop being ashamed to celebrate our hard work. Because what we'll do is, this is what we'll do. You know how, this is what black people tell you. Black people always tell you, stay humble. Stay humble mean, this what it really mean, Negro. Don't you dare celebrate your hard work you put in, because you're going to remind me that I ain't do shit.
There you go.
I'm going to live this life. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you something that's real. Nobody want to talk about. At the end of the day, about 40 years, everybody in this room going to be dead. I'm just being real. And the worst thing in the world is when you walk through that graveyard and you hear all that crying because they ain't live their life. I'm going to live this thing, baby. I'm going to buy what I want to buy. I'm going to go where I want to go. I'm going to eat how I want to eat. I'm not running away from no ghosts. We paranoid. Oh, the boogeyman. Boogeyman's a chump. I ain't never seen him yet. Think about that, though, brother. We keep downplaying our hand to appease a bunch of people that's lazy or don't want to do nothing. It's not my job to cater to you, because, listen, one thing about commissioner, he better come in here suited and booty, he better do his thing. It's not his job to bow down to somebody because they mad about what he did to get where he got. That's your problem, that ain't mine. Either step up or shut up. And that's how it is, man.
I love it, man.
For me, he'll tell you, my motto is I sleep when I'm dead.
There you go.
I'm the richest motherfucker that ever was in my family, man. Think about it. You know how long my family been around? I'm the only motherfucker that's gonna leave some money when I die. I ain't got time to sleep. I got a son who I lost, who he got a son, and now I'm responsible for him. I ain't got time to lay around. I'm 48 years old, about to be 49. I'm kicking ass, and I ain't gonna stop kicking ass until God like, it's time for you to stop kicking ass. I need to see you. So for us, we base our platform around the youth, the owners of tomorrow. I want to shout out a kid that's in here right now, got the same name as my son, Devin Sanchez. Is he still in here? There you go. He going to Ohio State. He's one of the top freshmen in the country. So I want to salute you, man. You know we had some good talks back. Do your thing, Neff. You hear me? I got that jersey coming. I'm gonna represent you all year this year. But we ain't got time to be resting. I ain't got time to be lazy. I ain't got time. I'm the first person that's going to die in my family and leave some money. Think about that. Nobody ever left a dollar. Nobody never left no companies, no businesses, no assets, no houses, nothing.
I think about that all the time.
I'm going to be the first.
We running over time, Commissioner.
So I ain't got time to rest.
Would you say, Commissioner?
No, I was saying I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
I think
I
about
sleep
that all
when
the
I'm
time.
dead.
Stop being humble. You better stop being humble, Commissioner. You run this thing. Do your thing. Stop being humble. Stop downplaying. Pop it. If you want to, time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. I'm going to give you a pass. Both of y'all, go ahead and get a 40 tonight and chill. Go ahead. I'm going to give you one pass. Nobody ain't going to tell on you. Go ahead, man. He like, damn, man.
He was thinking about it, too.
You know what? Look, I know we got to get y'all. I know my mic is on. Mike drop. Yeah, I was thinking about that for you. But,
I knew it.
listen, first of all, give it up for Wallo and Gillie one more time. And give it up for my man, Dr. Ledet, here too. I know we got some closing business to do, but let me say this before they exit the stage. We got to get them out of here. If you heard one thing tonight that motivated you, if you heard one thing tonight that encouraged you, if you heard one thing tonight that you connected with, then follow through. Follow through. I am. You know, I sat here and listened. To be honest with you, I felt like all three of them was talking to me. They wasn't even talking to y'all. I felt like y'all was preaching to me.
Yeah.
And that's how it should feel. Take this day, take this moment, and let's build something off of it. You know, there's too many of us that are walking around with what my man say, back weighing down and walking,
feet tender,
feet feeling sensitive, you can't move, and I think that's real. I think that's real. Where's my man Maurice Clarett? Where did he take off? Where'd he go?
Reese right there. Come here, Reese, man.
Come
Get
up
up here.
here. Come up
Make
here,
some
Maurice.
noise for Reese, man. This is my brother right here. Make some noise for Reese, man. Make it happen. My brother
And one
right
of the
here.
things I really,
My brother.
first of all, Maurice is a bro. He's just a straight up bro. But one of the things I was watching the podcast, and I think Wallo was talking about getting a call from the big boys one day. But I'm gonna go to that. He was talking about getting a call. He said, I called my cousin Gillie and said, yo, I got these guys on the other line. I don't even know if they real. I just answered the phone. They talking lots of money. But then he went back and was reflecting on how they got there. So they were signing a big deal, multi-million-dollar deal. But he started talking about and reflecting, and he said, it all started when my homie, and he was just talking. He said, when my homie Maurice Clarett encouraged me to start a podcast.
Yep.
Now, you heard his story, and you know Maurice's story. So think about, and what he said there, that they are the #1 podcast in the world.
Yeah.
The world. I was with we'll just say a celebrity on Saturday. And I was talking about y'all to this person. I'll tell you afterwards. And she was off the chain. She's going through developing a podcast too. And I said, but you gotta like watch these guys and learn from them. And the point I'm making is that we all in this together.
We all in this together.
You can't be, hey, you gotta cheer them on. Gillie's talking about leaving something to his family. Come on. That's a game changer. So look, let me end on this. One, thanks, bro, for hooking this up. Thank you. Give him a round of applause, man.
My brother. Hold up. I got to bring somebody
bring
to
us
the
home.
stage.
You bring us home. I'm going to let you bring us home.
I got, this is my brother right here. I love him to death. He always makes stuff happen. He reached out to me. When I first came home, I was living in my grandma's middle room. I was doing videos on Instagram. He sent the email from me through Instagram and said, bro, I don't know you. I just need you to keep going. If you ever need me, call me. This was in 2017. I was home for like 2 months. I knew Maurice from watching the 30 for 30 in jail, and I knew him when he played Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? He reached out, always been a brother. What I'm telling you is this. In order to be next level, you got to think next level. In order to help Columbus, you got to lead Columbus and go get the resources and come back. Stop sitting around. Stop thinking you can't connect with the world. And that's what he did. But I want to give a shout out to somebody that's very important to this whole thing. Joey, come up here. Come up here, Joey. Come up here, Joey. Like, stand up and get her a standing ovation because she made this thing happen. Stand up, y'all. Make some noise, y'all. You made this thing happen. You see what I'm saying? She made this thing happen. The whole team, the whole team here. Where the rest of the team at? The rest of the team, come up here that made this. Come on, stop being shy, man.
David.
All of a sudden, everybody want to be shy. Come up here, y'all. Everybody to play
where's
the part.
Ken
Make some noise
Wilson?
for these people. Come on,
Ken
y'all.
Wilson.
Come on.
Come up. Come up.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Let me tell you something.
Me and my guy.
Let me tell you something. Nothing is in life have ever been done by yourself. Mike couldn't do it by himself. Nobody could do it by himself. Jalen Hurts couldn't do it by himself. You see what I'm saying? I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself. Franklin County can't do it by itself without y'all. That's real. They came together collectively, and everybody got a part to play. From the food you eating, from the logos on the table, the messaging out there, the vendors. It was a team that put it together. And so y'all got to figure out, after this day, how do you have micro moments like this brother right here talked about that? How do you have micro moments where as though we continue to do things like this, even if it is in your community, even if it's in your church, it's in your rec center, you got to continue moments like this. Don't just do this once a year. This got to be every week. It got to be every month. You got to figure out ways to connect, support the community. If you don't support your community, ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming to save us, man. If we don't save us, ain't nobody gonna save us. I appreciate y'all for having us. Make some noise for the team again, man. Thank y'all, man.
Hey, I'd be remiss. I got to get a couple of thank yous and acknowledgments in as we're wrapping up. One, I got to shout out to all of the workshop leaders that were here today. Give them a round of applause for me real quick. To my main man, David Kimbrough, Aaron White, Carlene Saxon, Malcolm White, Director Pride, Robin Ross, Bart Logan, and all of his team. Couldn't have done this without you. Thank you to Administrator Wilson, DCA Bivens, you heard her. And thank you so much for your leadership and support. Chelsea Barnett, my staff, Chelsea Barnett, Katie Page, and Adriana Gordon. Do me a favor and give them a round of applause. And then finally, Director Wingo, Maurice Cohens, the 100 Black Men of Central Ohio, and all of the volunteers that are here today. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to Pastor Young, Commissioner Crawley, Commissioner O'Grady. Get the pose real quick, boom. All right. Representative Dontavius Gerald, I see Senator Craig came out to support us. Prosecutor Shayla Favors has been a vital part of the dialogue. And then finally to Chris Jones and the team at Warhol and Wall Street, to Administrator Wilson for all his leadership and support, Carter Womack for putting together the resource guide, the mental health yellow pages, and to all of you for coming out today to make today very special and important for your own journey. This is not the beginning, but this is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. It's not about where you start in life, but where you finish. And so I want to ask you all to stay in touch, make sure that we have your information so that we can invite you to the next conversation, probably more intimate setting. Be safe, God bless you, and thank you so much for coming out.